This championship, my championship, their championship, this is what all of this is about. You want...
No. No. My brother, I don't want that. I want your soul.
If it's happening in professional wrestling, we're breaking it down. The matches, the moments, the rumors, and yes, even the hot takes. This is Pro Wrestling Focus. No nonsense, no wasted motion, just pure wrestling talk. Now, here's your host, Cody Springer.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Episode number 2 of Pro Wrestling Focus, and this is going to be the first formatted show, I guess you would say, of Pro Wrestling Focus. And we got quite a bit to talk about on today's show. You know, we have the big thing that happened this past week. You know, The Rock returning to the WWE on SmackDown, and he confronts Cody Rhodes, and he says that he wants Cody to be his champion, and that he wants Cody Rhodes' soul. Yes, he wants Cody's soul. Or as some of you on social media like to say, that he was propositioning Cody for gay sex. Oh God. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jey Uso and Gunther, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, talk about what's going on in NXT, plus your latest news and rumors here on Pro Wrestling Focus. All right, so we might as well get into it. The Rock and Cody Rhodes. You know, like I said before, The Rock, this news came very late in the week. You know, it was kind of like out of left field. You know, but The Rock, he had a cryptic kind of video on Instagram saying, if you gotta do things one day or do things on day one. And The Rock said, you know what? I'm gonna do this thing, whatever it is that he was talking about. And, people were wondering, like, oh, is he gonna be at WrestleMania? Is he gonna, face Cody Rhodes, face Roman Reigns, because those have been 2 matches that have been talked about the most for The Rock over the last couple of years. Especially the Roman Reigns match, that was going to happen last year until the whole Cody Mania thing happened. But yeah, so The Rock comes back and, he was out in the ring. He called out Cody Rhodes. And he told Cody that he wants Cody to be his champion. He wants Cody to be his champion. He can make all of Cody's dreams a reality. His wife's dreams, his daughter's dreams. He can make all Cody's dreams a reality. That Cody can have as many Instagram followers as The Rock. That he can, enter that upper echelon of stardom. Along with him and Austin and Undertaker and John Cena. He's told Cody basically like, oh, you're right here, but you can be right here. So The Rock says he wants Cody to be his champion. Cody says, oh, I'm the people's champion. I'm the fans' champion. I'm not a champion for anybody else. And then Rock just was continuing to reiterate, I want you to be my champion. And then The Rock says, I want nothing more but that. And Cody thought that he was pointing at the WWE Championship. And Cody's like, oh, you want this? You want my title? And The Rock's like, no, I don't want that. I want your soul. So, yeah. Yeah, Rock says he wants Cody's soul. And he wants Cody's decision at the Elimination Chamber this Saturday. It'll be Cody Rhodes and The Rock coming face-to-face this Saturday at the Elimination Chamber. And, Cody's got to make a decision. Could we be seeing a heel turn for the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes? So let's talk about what this means for Cody's WrestleMania journey now. Because Cody, he's going to be walking into WrestleMania as the WWE champion. We will find out who he's going to face at the Chamber. You have Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, John Cena, and Damian Priest. That's right. I almost forgot about Damian Priest, but yeah. So we will find out who Cody's going to face at WrestleMania for his championship. But if Cody were to turn heel, yeah, like that would be an interesting dynamic. But do I think it's going to happen? No. I don't think Cody is going to take Rock up on his offer. Cody's going to refuse to sell his soul. He's not going to turn his back on the fans. I do think Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel eventually, but I don't think it's going to happen now. I can't see it. I would be surprised if they did, because I do think they want Cody Rhodes to be like kind of in that John Cena type babyface role for years to come. I do think that's what they want. I think that's what Triple H wants. So I don't think Cody's going to turn heel right now. I do think that's down the line, maybe a year from now, maybe 2 years from now. But right now, I do think that Cody is supposed to be on this kind of like superhero babyface run, pretty much, So it's interesting, because, we were hearing, Cody's most likely facing John Cena, be John Cena's, attempt to win a 17th world title, so that way he can break the record, because him and Ric Flair are tied for most world title reigns at 16. So, yeah, man, just throwing The Rock in there now, it's becoming very interesting, for sure. And I think we're going to have to wait and see what happens. I'm going to do a Elimination Chamber predictions leading up to the show. That will probably drop, I'm going to say Friday, but don't quote me on that, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, look, I'm going to talk about this more when I get to my predictions for the Elimination Chamber later on in the week. So yeah, this was definitely the most talked about thing in WWE this past week. And I think we're going to have to just wait and see what happens. All right, let's talk about the Women's Intercontinental Championship rematch that's taking place tonight on Raw. We have the champion, Lyra Valkyria, the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion. She'll be defending her title in a rematch against Dakota Kai. And there was some backlash from fans about this, because a lot of people felt like Dakota Kai deserved to be champion more than Lyra Valkyria. I don't necessarily agree with people on that viewpoint. I'll say this about Dakota Kai. She's talented, yes. I definitely think she's got potential to be one of the top stars in the women's division for WWE. But do I feel like she should have been champion over Lyra Valkyria? No, I don't think so. Because Dakota, while she is talented, she's been injury prone. She's has had 3 injuries over the past 2 years. I think she had 2 knee injuries that required surgery, and then she had a concussion not too long ago That put her out for a few weeks. So, I mean, to be honest, until Dakota Kai can prove that she can stay healthy and be consistent and, and all that, then I don't really think that putting a title on her is the best thing to do at the moment. So, I don't agree necessarily with the fans on that viewpoint. Because what if she wins the championship and then, like, the next week on Raw, she breaks an ankle, or she, tears her tricep or something like that, and then she's going to have to vacate the championship, and then, they'll do another tournament that they always do, or some kind of battle royal, To be honest, I think Lyra Valkyria is a better choice, because Lyra's been consistent. She's been, she's performing well. So I definitely think, they made the right call as far as the first ever women's intercontinental champion. I think it's fair to say that Lyra's title reign is being overshadowed by fan perception. I definitely think that's fair to say because, like I said, people are, go on social media and say, oh, well, Lyra, she's not interesting, boring, I don't think that, but then again, people have their opinions. I like Lyra Valkyria. I think she's got an interesting character. She's good in the ring. I think she probably needs more time on the mic, more promos. Yeah, that's probably going to be the only thing about her game that needs work is her promo ability. But again, that could just comes down to creative and giving her the time to cut promos and have her showcase her character more. So I definitely think Lyra should retain tonight on Raw, but they could go the other way and have Dakota become champion, which, I think that would be kind of hurtful for Lyra because she's the first ever women's intercontinental champion. I think she's defended the title once, maybe. Against Ivy Nile, maybe. But yeah, I think it'd be kind of too soon to take the belt off of her now, just so Dakota can be champion. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about Jey Uso and Gunther. That will be the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. Gunther will be defending against Jey Uso. Jey decided that he was going to challenge Gunther. He was going to use this Royal Rumble title shot against Gunther. And, Jey, I think him winning the Rumble, it was a great moment. I really think it was. I think, but a lot of people didn't like it. They wanted Cena to win or Roman Reigns to win, CM Punk, and not Jey Uso. I understand people's opinions, They rather would have seen Cena win it, but to be honest, Cena didn't need to win the Rumble in order to get to WrestleMania, So, in my opinion, I'm okay with Jey Uso winning the Rumble. I think Jey has worked really hard to get to where he's at. Breaking away from the bloodline, breaking away from Roman Reigns, breaking away from his brother, Jimmy, stepping out on his own, becoming main event Jey Uso, and then doing the yeet. I think Jey's really shown what he can do on his own. He won the Intercontinental Championship, even though it was an incredibly short title reign. But, I understand that was for storyline purposes for him to lose the title, so that way he can get back into the bloodline story and, get revenge on Solo and Tama Tonga and Chica Fatu and all that. But yeah, now is the time for Jey to prove himself as a true singles main eventer. Going up against Gunther. And Gunther, he's been saying Jey Uso's not worth his time. He wishes he was facing somebody else at WrestleMania, somebody who's worth more of a challenge. Because recently, Jey Uso went up against Gunther at Saturday night's main event, and yeah, Jey Uso had to put up a valiant effort, but lost to Gunther. And now here we are again at WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all, where Jey Uso will be facing Gunther with the title on the line. I like where the story's going, personally. Not everybody's on board with it, and that's fine. That's their opinion. But yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a storyline that's going to heat up. It's going to be more intense as we get towards WrestleMania. Might even get more personal. So yeah, I like where it's going, and I do think Jey is on his way to becoming that main event star. All right, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We know what's been going on. The Raw after the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens, after Sami Zayn lost to CM Punk in that Elimination Chamber qualifying match, Kevin Owens came out, attacked Sami Zayn, and hit him with a package pile driver. And yeah, that'll make it two people that Kevin Owens has used that package pile driver on. The first one being Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event 2 months ago, and now Sami Zayn. And, Sami, he returned to Raw last week, and he was demanding the match with Kevin Owens for Elimination Chamber. They want to go at it in Toronto, in Canada, where it all started for them. And Adam Pearce didn't want to make the match. Sami persisted. And Pearce was like, all right, fine. It'll be an unsanctioned match. Basically meaning if something happens to Sami, then since it's unsanctioned, WWE can't be held liable or responsible for anything that happens to Sami in the match. They've done the unsanctioned match before in the past. I think Shawn Michaels did it one time. So has other people. But yeah, that's basically what it means. Is it's not an official match. But yeah, the match was made on Raw. And then Kevin Owens escalated the situation on SmackDown. He was recording himself for X. He was outside of Sami's home and basically, filming. We're seeing inside Sami's home where his wife and his kids at. And, Kevin was telling Sami he's selfish. He's selfish for wanting to do this. He's selfish for, what Kevin has to do now. And Kevin said that he's going to end Sami's career. Talking about how he's going to provide for his wife and kid if he can't wrestle anymore. And I do think, man, I don't know how far this feud is going to go. We've seen it before, but now it's been taken up a notch. I don't know if this is going to last until WrestleMania. I feel like it should. But yeah, I feel like the potential is there for this to be one of the most emotionally charged feuds of this whole year. And yeah, I think it's going to be crazy come Elimination Chamber. And then we're going to have to see what happens with Owens and Zayn, where it's going to go. Will they have a match at WrestleMania? I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's becoming very personal real quick. And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next. All right, let's go over some NXT stuff. We have the confrontation between Oba Femi and Moose. Yeah, the NXT champion, Oba Femi, and TNA X Division champion, Moose. They had a confrontation this week. There's been people that's been talking about the potential for this match, especially with the partnership between WWE and TNA, and looks like it's going to happen. Oba Femi going one-on-one with Moose at some point. And man, I'm telling you what, this was a moment, man. You know, two behemoths really, coming together and having this confrontation. And I think it's going to be an interesting match, when it does happen. It most likely will take place on one of the NXT PLEs, I would assume. But yeah, man, I mean, this is going to be a match of two powerhouses, you got Oba Femi, who's freaking just a massive man. And then Moose, man, I'm telling you what, man, Moose is a massive man as well. So you have two behemoths coming face to face each other one-on-one. And I think this is just going to be the start of more crossover matches between WWE and TNA. So I definitely thought that was a high point for NXT last week. And I'm looking forward to see where it goes. And then Jordynne Grace made her NXT debut, her in-ring debut this week. It was her first match with NXT. Because, if you believe the online rumors and all that, Jordynne Grace is going to start in NXT, at least for a little bit, and then she will transition to the main roster. So, but yeah, they teased it. She appeared at the most recent PLE for NXT, and she had a stare down with Stephanie Vaquer and Julia. And, Stephanie is the NXT Women's North American Champion, and Julia is the NXT Women's Champion. And then they teased, which champion is Jordynne gonna go after first. And then we had a 6-women tag. Jordynne teamed up with Stephanie and Julia, and they defeated Fatal Influence. And the main question is, who is Jordynne going to go after first? Is she going to chase the NXT Women's North American Champion, Stephanie, or is she going to go after the NXT Women's Champion, Julia? Well, I don't know how long Jordynne's NXT run's going to be, but if it's going to be a quick NXT run, then I would say probably Julia is going to be the most likely direction for this. Her and Julia, I think, would be a freaking barn burner of a match, man, for sure. And, Jordynne's no stranger to being a women's champion. I mean, she was the TNA Knockouts champion in TNA several times, and I have no doubt that she will have gold in WWE, in NXT, and on the main roster. So, depending on how long her run with NXT is supposed to be, if it's a short run, then I would say Julia. If she's going to be there for like 6 months, then I would say she would probably, start her chase against Stephanie, which that would be a great match too, her and Stephanie Vaquer. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next couple weeks and see, who Jordynne's going to target first. And then to finish off our NXT discussion, we're talking about Ricky Starks. Yeah, he left AEW and he signed his NXT contract, and now he's going under a new name of Ricky Saints. So yeah, he's no longer known as Ricky Starks. He's now known as Ricky Saints. I don't know how I feel about that name, to be honest. Ricky Saints. I'm not feeling it right now, but it's a name that could grow on me in the future. We'll just have to see how things go with him in NXT. Because I feel like, Ricky Starks was one of AEW's best guys. In all honesty, I mean, the dude can talk. He's got great presence on camera, I feel, and I feel like he could be a star. I really think so. I think he's adapting just fine to NXT and the way WWE does things. And yeah, I mean, the main question is, will he be a star? Will he be able to make the successful transition from AEW to WWE. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ricky Saints. Yeah, we're gonna have to get used to that. Yeah, we're gonna have to get used to that name of Ricky Saints, and yeah, well, I'm hoping the name will grow on me in time, but right now, not necessarily feeling it. But yeah, I mean, it looks like his first program is gonna be against Wes Lee. You know, Wes Lee came out, started trash talking, and that led to Ricky putting his hands on him, and it looks like that's going to be a program coming up for NXT here in the near future.
It's time to dive into the latest news and rumors from around the pro wrestling industry. Some of it's fact, some of it's speculation, but we'll break it all down and separate what's real from what's just making headlines. Remember, if it's not confirmed, it's just a rumor. But that won't stop us from talking about it.
All right, let's get into your latest news. Now, this is news, okay? This is confirmed news. We'll get into the rumors here in a little bit, but here is your news. Carmella is no longer under a WWE contract. She's been out of action since she was pregnant with her and Corey Graves' child. She left in early 2023, so she's been gone since then, and her contract was coming up and they let it expire. So Carmella is now a free agent. So yeah, I mean, do I think they should have re-signed her? I mean, if we want to base on what she's done for them lately, then no. I mean, yeah, she's been on maternity leave. She's been, at home taking care of her and Corey's child. Corey's still working for WWE as a color commentator for NXT. But as of right now, I don't think they made the wrong move necessarily. I mean, could she always come back in the future? Yes. Yeah, I don't think she left on bad terms. I just think they viewed it as a cost-cutting move, pretty much. But yeah, she's now a free agent. She's free to sign with any wrestling promotion out there, whether it be AEW, TNA Wrestling. Yeah, she can go anywhere she wants. So could she make her return to pro wrestling in another promotion? I definitely think it's possible. I mean, I wasn't crazy about Carmella in recent years. I kind of felt like she was just doing the same old. But, she could be a value. I feel like to, like it's something like TNA, maybe in AEW, to their women's divisions. But yeah, so let's move on to our next news item. The location has been confirmed for next year's WrestleMania. WrestleMania 42 will be taking place in New Orleans, Louisiana next year on April 11th and April 12th. And yeah, New Orleans has always been a great location for WrestleMania. I mean, it was the host of WrestleMania 30, and then it hosted, I think it was WrestleMania 34, I want to say. I could be wrong, but yeah. It's hosted previous WrestleMania events, and I think it's always been a great location for WrestleMania. And New Orleans is a great city. I hope to visit someday. Mardi Gras parties and everything. So, so I think New Orleans is always a great place to host WrestleMania. And, so I think this is going to be big. I think, this is definitely going to be another 70,000 plus, attendance for both nights. like it has been in previous years, and I expect it to be around the same for next year. So yeah, WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans. And then Drew McIntyre is in the news again. So he attended a Tops Rip Night event. This was last night, actually. So yeah, he was pulling out trading cards because, Tops has been making these trading cards for WWE, and he pulled out an LA Knight card. And then, Drew decided to take a dig at LA Knight once again, and he man, Drew is amazing at trolling these days. But yeah, he saw the LA Knight trading card and said, "All right, let's do the bit. My good buddy LA Knight, see, I got your stuff in for you." And this was in reference to the Royal Rumble controversy where Drew threw a fit backstage because LA Knight allegedly cared more about getting his stuff in, his moves and stuff like that, at the expense of the storylines that were advancing in the Rumble match. So, there's been rumors that Drew is going to work with LA Knight at WrestleMania. That remains to be seen. I heard it was supposed to be Drew and Damian Priest, but those plans may have changed. But, so at this point, are these two, like, beefing for real, like, outside the ring? Is Drew just screwing around? Is it just playful banter? I think it might be a little bit of both, honestly. Like, yeah, Drew wasn't thrilled with LA Knight at the Rumble, for him allegedly caring more about getting his stuff in than rather, or at the expense of feuds that were going on in the Rumble and stuff like that. It's probably a little bit of both, in all honesty. All right, let's get into the rumors. Now, remember, the rumors, they're not confirmed. They're just rumors, okay? So I don't want people to go on social media and say, well, Cody Springer said this. No, I was just talking about the rumor. But let's talk about the first one, and it's Finn Balor. Finn Balor is allegedly unhappy with The Rock. Finn Balor, last year, there was a video of Finn. And I'm actually going to play the clip right now. He's at the beach with Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. And a fan comes up to Finn Balor and he was asked, will The Rock be at the Elimination Chamber? And this is what Finn had to say. All right. I know I enhanced the audio so you guys could hear it. I called The Rock a lazy MFer. I'm not going to curse. I'm not, me myself, I'm not going to curse, but yeah, that's what he said about The Rock last year. And Finn, he put out a tweet 2 days ago. This I think it was happening while SmackDown was on the air during The Rock's segment with Cody Rhodes. Yeah, Finn posted 2 pictures of himself and said, F that. So, yeah, is there real heat going on here? Does Finn Balor not like The Rock? Does he feel like The Rock is overshadowing full-time talent? Finn's not the only person to have had issues with The Rock. CM Punk have been very vocal in the past about The Rock coming back and overshadowing full-time talent and taking spots away from full-time talent because, Punk felt like The Rock was doing that, and it looks like Finn Balor has got the same kind of issue with The Rock. And, if this is the case, then he's making it very clear that he has heat with The Rock. So, I sympathize with Finn, I really do. yeah, I wouldn't want a part-timer coming back and taking time away from me or anything like that. So, but yeah, a rather colorful way to go about it, I would say. And it's rumored that Stone Cold Steve Austin will be at WrestleMania 41 this year. But however, Austin's status is uncertain because he had a recent knee replacement surgery. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, he was asked about if Austin's going to wrestle at WrestleMania 41 this year. He said it would be a miracle if Austin could wrestle due to because of the knee replacement surgery. But, he could just make an appearance, cut a promo, drink a couple beers. So, yeah, I mean, if Austin did come back, I would like that. I mean, I definitely would not be against it, because as you guys know, Austin's my favorite wrestler of all time. But, yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see if he does appear at WrestleMania 41, and if he doesn't, then, well, maybe WrestleMania 42 in New Orleans. But yeah, if Austin wants to be there, he'll find a way to be there. And then the last rumor here is Becky Lynch's WWE return. Her return is reportedly in limbo. Sean Ross Sapp, once again, Fightful Select, he says, and I quote, "I mean, for real, she is signed, she is healthy. I believe she's still awaiting creative. And I think they've thrown some ideas back and forth. I know she was signed, and they wanted to get her involved with WrestleMania plans. I'm not sure what degree, though, but yeah, she's going to come back." Yeah, I heard Becky signed a new contract with WWE, so she is under contract. She is a part of the roster. But at this point, where do you insert Becky at? Because she's not in the Women's Chamber match. Charlotte's going to be facing Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania for the Women's Championship. But I don't know about what would she be able to do at WrestleMania? Who could she work with at WrestleMania? And, then they'd be able to build a program. To be honest, I don't know. I mean, I think we're just going to have to wait and see how the Women's Chamber shakes out to see who's going to face Rhea at WrestleMania and just look at it from there. And if Becky does come back, let's say Elimination Chamber or Raw, there's a chance she could be inserted into the Rhea title match. Whoever wins the Women's Chamber, whether it's Bianca Belair or Alexa Bliss, they could insert Becky into that match too. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a strong chance that she could be inserted into a major WrestleMania storyline this year. I mean, last year it was her and Rhea at WrestleMania. So maybe Becky comes back, says she has unfinished business. They could also do Becky and Liv. There's unfinished business there. Because, Becky lost the title to Liv before she left. So there could be unfinished business there. But, alright, let's get to the random wrestling fact of the week. And it's about Billy Gunn. Yeah, AEW's Billy Gunn. Yeah, he started his wrestling career in 1989 as Kip Montana and once wrestled Sting in NWA WCW. This is when WCW was a part of the NWA. But that's going to conclude this episode for this week, guys. I'd like to thank you for listening. And you can listen to the Pro Wrestling Focus on anywhere you get your podcast. And stay tuned for more podcast content coming later this week. And I will talk to you later.